Welcome back. Ford Motor releasing its first quarter earnings report moments ago. The automaker beating analysts' expectations on earnings and revenue as the company issues a massive recall this week affecting nearly 300,000 cars and trucks, including the F-150, the Explorer, and the Mustang. As you can see the numbers there, they were better than expected. Nonetheless, joining me right now is Ford President and CEO Mark Fields. Mark, good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
No, thanks, Maria.
I want to get to the, obviously, the recall and the innovation that you've been leading at Ford, which is so exciting. But first, let's talk about the quarter and what you saw. Can you characterize business first quarter of the year?
Well, we're off to a great start for the year. We had an all-time record quarter following a record year, and I think it positions us well for having an outstanding year or keeping us on track for that. We grew our top line, we grew our bottom line. We had tremendous performance across our portfolio of businesses, not only a record quarter in North America, but our best quarter in Europe since 2008, strong performance in Asia Pacific, and we're reaffirming our guidance to have a year that is as good as, if not better than, our record year last year. So all in all, a very strong start to the year for us.
Excellent. Up 113%. What a performance. So what's driving the performance right now, Mark? I was reading earlier about the success you've had in fleets. You're selling cars to fleets, but analysts are wondering if that's really where the strength is as opposed to individuals. Can you talk to us about really what's driving the euphoria right now?
Well, I think the strength across our business is really driven by our products, both from retail consumers, also fleets. Our approach to fleet has not changed. It's very good business for us. As we've said, our rental car business is front-loaded towards the first half of the year, and by the time we end up at the end of the year, it'll be about the same as it was last year. We're just having asked for their orders earlier. But it's really a broad-based strength, not only on products, but when you look at our regional performance, our operations outside of North America were profitable and improved from last year, including Europe. So pretty broad-based strength across the board.
Yeah, I saw the European numbers, and obviously it really feels like we're seeing a recovery there, and Ford is obviously a big beneficiary. What are you seeing specifically in Europe, and do you feel like the sentiment has changed there?
Well, what we're seeing in Europe across the markets, we're continuing to see a good performance in the northern part of Europe. We're seeing a recovery in southern Europe. The UK continues to be strong, although we may see a little bit of volatility between now and when the referendum is voted on for Brexit. When you look at our business, it is very strong. Our market share is up again. Our profitability, as you mentioned, is over $400 million, and that's driven by the actions we took in place about 3 years ago for our European transformation plan around reducing our costs, working on our brand, and introducing great product. And when you look at the European market, they're also shifting towards small and medium-sized SUVs, and we're very well positioned there with the investments that we've made.
Let's turn to the recall for a moment. What do folks need to know? What was the issue with this 300,000 car and truck recall?
Well, it was a variety of different products, but our process, very simply as a company, is when we see issues, big or small, whatever, we want to act on them quickly. We made the announcement yesterday on a number of vehicle lines, and customers can come in and get those vehicles fixed up.
So in other words, they should know which car or truck they have, and they could just take it to their dealership and get it changed.
Yeah, our process, as I mentioned, is to, when we see issues, we jump on them early. We send out notifications to consumers so that they can visit their dealers and get the vehicles updated.
Mark, I know that you've been working a lot on innovation, and you were really among the first to introduce the autonomous car. Is that where the growth of the company goes in the next 5 years? Is it technology that's really changing the game? Real quick, Mark.
Well, Maria, we're going from an auto company to an auto and mobility company. So we're going to continue to grow our core business of designing and developing and manufacturing great cars and trucks, and really pursuing these new emerging opportunities in mobility and mobility services.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to think that your car will be almost like your phone. You've got all your data and information right there in the car. Mark, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We'll be watching the developments at Ford. Mark Fields joining us there.
All right.